Alright, this is David Johnson trying out the video for my second reflection. We started off today with the hundreds chart where we were finding different numbers, and I thought that was a pretty good activity. It had us really think about a lot of divisibility rules. Sometimes we were given a lot of different things that were divisible or weren't divisible by something, which helped us rule out different factors. Um, and I think it was just good to work with, again, the teachers across different grade levels, because I think that everybody, based on what they're used to and what their different understandings are and what they teach, um, help them come up with their own interesting, personalized solutions rather than just all high school people having probably a very methodical way about going through it. Sometimes the most creative answers that I see are from the elementary teachers or the middle school teachers. Um, so again, just seeing those different solutions helps me kind of think of different creative ways that kind of help me increase my understanding of algebra and functions. Um, then I think we analyzed some of the Common Core practices, things that are inherent in students that are pretty successful at mathematics. And I thought that was pretty good too. We were broken up, I think, into grade groups for that one. And I understand why, because we're all dealing with different issues at the schools, but we still collectively were able to get together and kind of talk about those as a group, which was good to see each group's different reactions. Um, the five representation of functions I thought was pretty interesting too. I sometimes will make students write their own word problems, but I don't always do the chart and the equations as well. I might only give them one of the representations to do. So I think that was really helpful to have have the students write all five so that they could see how they all connect. And again, that was, I think, where we saw the most discrepancy among the grade groups was with the word problems that were written. Um, I think, again, there were some creative word problems from the other grade groups that I wouldn't have seen if I was just working with high school people. And again, when the other high school person in my group, actually, we were writing almost identical word problems, I felt like, every time. And then the middle school and the elementary school teachers were the ones who were writing things that were different than us. So it was good to see their input on the situation. Um, After that, I think we did the cube printing activity, which was probably my favorite activity of the day. That was probably, I thought, the most mathematically engaging thing that we had. Um, and I kind of sat back a little bit on that one. I felt like I kind of jumped into it a little bit too much yesterday and was kind of spouting out answers, which I shouldn't have been doing. So I kind of sat back a little bit and worked on this one a little bit ahead on my own. And then once the group got to the end parts where they had to derive the rule, that's where I would kind of jump in and maybe say, hey, yeah, that's good, or I don't know, maybe you should double check that. I'm not sure if that's going to work. And then maybe just offering a little extra explanation to help some of the people who maybe don't use that kind of math in their classrooms every day. So I think it was helpful for me too, because I sometimes had to justify my answer to the other group. And after that, we did the patterns with the lines. This part was probably my least favorite part of the day. This was probably one difficulty that I felt working across grade levels, because for me, the writing the equation of a line given a chart, that's something I could do pretty quickly. It really wasn't very engaging, I think, for me. The parabola formulas, again, that's something we've done for a while, so I was just trying to figure them out in my head to try and see if I could give myself some mental stimulation. But yeah, I mean, I knew I could do the algebra behind it. I just, by that point, I was kind of burned out, and that was difficult. So I think just having those different groups sometimes, you try to teach to the middle. I know that I do that in my class sometimes when you have all different groups, and you're going to sometimes end up boring the upper kids, and you're going to have some of the lower group, struggling to keep up. Um, so that's kind of how I felt about the end of the day today. And I was just glad that we got a little extra time to work on our practice problems and get a little head start on that. That was really helpful. And that is all. So again, this is David Johnson. Thank you very much.